Yeah, that's really how I'm feeling right now. Just to like, work on myself and things like that. Try to better myself as a person, as a dad.
Has officially announced his retirement, right? He told the people around him that he is retiring from the sport of boxing. He is no longer going to compete in the sport of boxing due to his frustration with the way and the direction the sport of boxing is going in.
Whatever, I don't know. Maybe this could be the reason why Tank said he want to leave boxing. He gonna, tap out, stuff like that. He still hasn't fought Devin Haney, and that's not going to happen.
Gervonta Davis has finally spoken about his retirement from boxing, revealing that he's had enough of the fame and public attention. He shared how everything he says tends to get misinterpreted or exaggerated, leaving him feeling constantly misunderstood. Davis admitted he no longer feels free to be himself under the spotlight. Furthermore, he confessed that boxing no longer excites him the way it once did, even calling the sport lame now, a key reason for his decision to walk away.
Yeah, that's really how I'm feeling right now. Just to like, work on myself and things like that. Try to better myself as a person, as a dad, all around, like him and Ben.
Yeah. Is it the fame? Is it something that you just don't like all the attention? Or
yeah, I'm starting to like shy away from the attention and things like that come with it.
Yeah, because it's like anything you do or say, it's all over the blogs. It's taken the wrong way. It's getting posted.
Yeah.
Like you can't even be yourself at this point.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, it's getting more so like lame type of thing.
The core reason behind Davis's retirement seems to be his deepening frustration with the sport. According to his team, he's been under immense pressure in facing personal uncertainty, particularly because of an ongoing legal case involving the mother of his children. His team noted they're unsure how the case will unfold, but the stress it has created is clearly affecting him. This pressure appears to have pulled him further away from boxing and likely contributed to his decision to step away for now.
So I'm sure by now many people have heard about the news that was broken by Rick Glazer, who stated that 5-time world champion, 3-division world champion, undefeated superstar boxer, Gervonta "Tank" Davis, 30 wins, no loss, no draw, 28 wins by way of knockout. 30 wins, no losses, 1 draw, 28 wins by way of knockout, has officially announced his retirement, right? He told the people around him that he is retiring from the sport of boxing. He is no longer going to compete in the sport of boxing due to his frustration with the way and the direction the sport of boxing is going in.
With Davis's retirement now official, reactions from fans and analysts have poured in. The announcement gained traction when Happy Punch tweeted, "Gervonta Davis has reportedly retired from boxing after being fed up with the sport. Tank is retiring. Won't fight again," is what he's telling those close to him via Rick Glazer. While some were shocked by the sudden move, others felt it reflected the immense burden he's been carrying in and out of the ring. Blue Blood Sports TV offered an interesting take, arguing Davis might not be retiring for good but is instead overwhelmed by personal and professional pressure. A key reason may be his unwillingness to face Lamont Roach again, seeing little value in the rematch. Instead, Davis is reportedly eyeing a lucrative Netflix fight against Jake Paul, preferring it over staying under Amazon's banner. Some believe the retirement talk is just another strategic move, something Davis has done before leading up to big fights.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis retiring? No. Has he told people this? Yes. But this is nothing new. I told you the Lamont Roach Jr. fight was off. It was going to take place in June. He was not happy with the way things were playing out. He wanted to get to that Jake Paul bag with Netflix. That has nothing to do with Amazon. Jake Paul is in charge in that situation. Ain't gonna put that money in Tank Davis's pocket. I told you guys this. But you guys don't believe me. You always love to say I'm tapping or hating on Tank Davis. No, I'm just telling you what's going on behind the scenes. Gervonta "Tank" Davis is not going to retire. He's frustrated. He may step away from the sport of boxing for a while. But again, he was already planning to do that before the Lamont Roach Jr. draw.
Despite all the differing opinions and swirling speculation, Davis has officially confirmed his retirement from boxing. While many suspect it could be temporary and driven by recent personal frustrations, Davis has made it clear that for now, he's stepping away. Whether this marks the definitive end of his boxing career or simply a pause remains to be seen.
Tank Davis is retired? Superstar and legendary knockout artist Tank Davis has officially retired. Or so he claims. Tank Davis has had one of the hardest 18 months in boxing. See, first he just got out of prison. Then he had a fight with Lamont Roach that should have been a pushover, which afterwards he was going to negotiate a huge money fight with Jake Paul. But Lamont Roach had a great game plan and they ended up having a draw. That Lamont Roach probably should have won. It was a controversial no knockdown call. But now Gervonta Davis is once again facing jail time after some domestic abuse charges. So I really think this is temporary. He's probably just retiring for now, especially with all the legal fees this man's gonna need. Part of this is probably to avoid the Lamont Roach rematch, push that off if he can. But really, most of this is probably so he can focus on his legal issues. And then after all that is wrapped up, he's gonna get back into boxing. Boxers do fake retirements. It's just what they do. Especially after disappointing fights and during legal troubles. Tyson Fury's in the middle of a fake retirement right now. So yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think he's really retired for good? Let me know in the comments.
Amid all the buzz and uncertainty, Gervonta Davis has made his retirement official. Bleacher Report tweeted, Gervonta Tank Davis announces he's retiring from boxing after 2025, signaling a strong and deliberate move from the undefeated fighter. Davis has spoken about retiring for over a year now, frequently citing exhaustion and the mental toll of the sport. He said that his personal battles and constant pressure have pushed him toward stepping back. Recently, he doubled down, saying he's done for good and doesn't even feel anger or competitive fire anymore. Former world champion Antonio Tarver weighed in as well, voicing concern over Davis's direction. Tarver emphasized that raw talent isn't enough without personal development and guidance. He said Davis's situation reflects a broader issue among today's young fighters, especially those lacking mentorship. To him, it's disheartening to see such promising careers stall just when major opportunities lie ahead.
See you right here in New York City, man. Always showing love. All right, so Jay Martinez of Fight Hook TV. So happy to see you once again. The biggest talk, let's jump into it. Obviously, we got a good weigh-in here in a moment.
Yes.
We got some good presser after this. The biggest talk that just happened moments ago, Gervonta Davis, jump into it, kind of, I wouldn't say it's a big shock to a lot of us, but, there's this mindset, the fight with Lamont's not signed yet. Apparently he's going to fight Jake Paul. Like, it's in and out of boxing right now.
Hey, man, I don't know, but, get these guys the bag so they can get the hell on if they not committed and dedicated to the sport. All they want is a bag. Give them a bag so they can go, bro. I mean, let these fighters that really want this shit, let's parade them. Let's get behind them. Let's support them. Let's build them. I'm not saying I don't know what happened. But I just hope and pray that young man get it together. He's at the top of his career, prime of his career. I would want him to be remembered more by the things that he's doing in the ring rather than out. But, sometimes you got to win in life, too, before you can get in that ring and win. And sometimes life is harder than any opponent that we can face. And I just hope he get it together, bro. I feel like a lot of these young men don't have no mentors, bro. It ain't no more handlers in the game, bro. It ain't nobody taking care of the camp. These guys out here on their own frequency, bro. And I just think there's no more leaders in the game, bro. They're not going to where that real energy is that can really humble these guys a little bit. We only got a short period of time to be professional boxers. This shit is over quick, bro. And you don't ever want to live with no regrets.
Boxing legend Bernard Hopkins shared his thoughts on Davis's situation, expressing hope that he can overcome his legal troubles and focus on what matters, his family. Hopkins stressed the importance of making peace with the mother of his children and encouraged Davis to realign his focus. He believes that channeling his energy back into boxing might help Davis find a better direction in both his personal and professional life.
The alien Bernard Hopkins. Bernard, first of all, good to see you, my man.
Good to see you again. Yes,
good
sir.
to see you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, there's a lot
My
to
second
talk
home, brother.
I'm starting to say the same thing because I'm here
Yes,
almost
you're here
all the time.
In and out, in and out.
Bernard, a lot to talk about. Let's jump into it real quick.
Come on.
I'm sure you saw the news about Gervonta Davis being arrested once again. Just give me your thoughts.
Unfortunately, man, I hope he come out. Everybody else come out I'm not with the domestic violence thing, man, but I hope that, you know, he get that straightened out and he get back to focus on his family and his career. Family first, and then career second. But I just wish both his girl, ex-girl, his kid's mother, you know what I mean, can get things together and look forward and be positive going forward.
Bernard, you think his head, you know, is there right now with boxing? Do you think he just needs another mentor? What does he need? Because he's a great talent.
I don't know, and I don't know him that well.
Gervonta Davis has opened up about his goals beyond boxing, sharing a desire to become more grounded and supportive for the people who matter most to him. He admitted that his career and lifestyle have often distracted him from what's truly important, his daughter and family. Davis now seems ready to shift his priorities, aiming to grow emotionally and strengthen his relationships. His decision to seek help and be more present shows a new level of self-awareness about what he values at this stage in life.
What's good, YouTube? Crown Jewel from Crown Jewel Boxing, back with a gym. Checked out the press conference yesterday. Watched the Rise podcast, 2 days ago, watched the Rise podcast response to it yesterday. And I just have to say, I see a lot of people think that, you know, Tank is bluffing with the retirement talk. Could be. I doubt it, though. And I'm going to tell you why I doubt it. When he talked about wanting to seek therapy and the person he has to be in order to be the fighter that he is, and wanting to be a softer person, you know, for his daughters, wanting to seek therapy, and become a better person, to be with his children and lead the limelight, it seemed like a lot of emotion and passion in that. He seemed like he really meant what he was saying. There's a lot that comes with not only boxing, you know, because, you know, all fighters deal with certain things with being a boxer, you know, physically and mentally. But he has to deal with being a celebrity, you know, an international star on top of that. And I can't even imagine that pressure. So, you know, things get old, you know, your whole life gets scrutinized. No matter what moves he makes, you know what I mean, it's going to be accepted by some.
The timing of Davis's retirement seems heavily influenced by recent personal struggles. Just before a potential rematch with Lamont Roach, he once again found himself involved in legal trouble. After his release, he made the announcement official, he's stepping away from the sport. His previous statements about being tired of boxing now feel more conclusive. After years of navigating pressure, expectations, and personal challenges, Davis appears ready to leave the chapter behind and find peace outside the ring.
And the woman said that, hey, I looked at him and I asked him to help me, and he looked at me and he turned his head, jumped out of the car and ran, or whatever the case may be. So he has a history of doing things like this to women. Like facts. Whether you like it or not, whether you're a Tank Davis fan or not, you can't get around that. That's the truth. So now, what's going to happen with the Lamont Roach fight? And better yet, you know, what's going to happen, you know, will that fight still go on? I don't know. They haven't announced it, made an official announcement yet. We know the fight is scheduled for next month, August, but it hasn't officially been announced yet. And we do know if that fight is announced, PBC will have reporters there to tell those reporters, look, if you want to have access to Gervonta Tank Davis, you better not ask him certain questions. This is what goes on in the media. See, a lot of these guys, they want access to the fighters, so they have to play ball. They have to go along with the get along just so they can get access to interview the fighter. Coach Malachi, I don't give a fuck about the access. Fuck having access to the fighter. I only fuck with those who fuck with me. If you're a fighter who fuck with me, I'll fuck with you. And then, you know, we can do an interview. That's fine. I have no problem with it because I got love for you like that, and vice versa. But if it's a fighter that don't like you or don't like me or whatever the case may be, I don't give a fuck. I don't try to fit in, you know, in the square circles. If it's a square circle, you know what I mean? If it's a square in a circle, I don't try to fit in with squares. And if you ain't in the circle, I ain't trying to get in the circle. Do you get what I'm saying? So, however, of course, these reporters, that's what they're going to do. So now, as it relates to Lamont Roach, what does Lamont Roach do from here?
Many commentators and fans have responded to Davis's decision with empathy, acknowledging the intense mental and physical toll boxing takes. Having been in the public eye from a young age, Davis has long carried immense pressure. Analysts say that if he no longer feels the same passion for the sport, walking away is not just reasonable, it's the smart choice. Most agree that it's better to step back with dignity than to continue when you're not at your best, especially if happiness and mental clarity are on the line.
Ridiculed by others, and some people grow tired of it. Living a public life ain't for everybody. He's been tremendously successful, whatever he decides to do. I wish him well. I think we need to, watch this Lamont Roach fight closely, because we've seen this in the past when Mike Tyson talked about his heart no longer being in it, or, you heard Buddy McGirt recently come out and say, the fire left him, while he was in camp in the middle of a run. I mean, it happens, and, we don't know how it's going to affect him as a fighter. I would hope, he could find it in himself to be motivated and get prepared, and be the best version of himself, because, as a Tank fan, I don't want to see him in the ring in any other capacity. If he can't bring himself to be the best version of himself, then I think he should walk away. But regardless of what he decides to do, for people like myself, I've had a great time, watching his career. I wish him the best in his personal life. He didn't say he's retiring immediately. He just said he's going to fight 3 times in 2025, and then it'll be over. Whoever those 3 fights he chooses to fight, we have to respect it. And I would just say, enjoy him while he's here, because, everybody in sports, whether it's boxing or otherwise, is only going to be active for a certain amount of time. And once it's over, it's over. So instead of, Monday morning quarterbacking, ridiculing, or criticizing, I think he's been a very special talent, and we need to enjoy him while he's here, because the end may be really near, according to what he's saying. That's all I have for y'all right now. Until next time, keep your hands up, your chin down, your ass off the floor. Peace.
Among boxing insiders, there's a growing belief that this moment could be a significant turning point in Davis's life. With everything going on, it may be the ideal time for him to step back, reflect, and reassess his path forward. This break could allow him to refocus on his values and work toward regaining personal balance away from the chaos that surrounded him for years.
That's why I don't want to box no more. I want to do therapy, right? But I feel as though if I do therapy, it will lose the fire that I have inside me. I want everything out of me where so I don't never think about fighting again. I don't think about even getting angry, you know what I mean? Because I have 2 girls, 2 daughters. I'm wanting to be much softer, you know what I mean? Be more humble and things like that.
Shout out to Tank Davis saying that he's going to go to therapy because he wants to soften up for his daughters, and he wants to let go of the anger. And yes, although maybe the anger served him in his boxing career, it's not currently serving him now at the moment, being the father. So shout out for Tank Davis. That's a real man. A real man is willing to be gentle in a tough, cruel world, right? It doesn't take much for us to be angry in an angry world. It takes a lot of courage for us to soften up and shine our light, whereas we've been maybe in darkness our whole lives, or maybe our darkness got us to success, right? So like Tank Davis obviously became successful, put in the anger towards boxing, but now he's on this next level of life and stepping into his therapy era, which I love to see. So shout out to Tank Davis for stepping into your healing era. Let's go.
Throughout his career, Davis has navigated numerous legal issues, often cushioned by financial resources. Still, patterns have emerged. His repeated involvement in similar situations points to deeper, unresolved personal problems. Davis himself has admitted he's worn down by everything connected to boxing. With multiple setbacks piling up, it seems he now sees retirement as the only way to regain stability and peace.
And as I'm recording this, Tank has just gotten bonded out of jail, although the details of his bond have yet to come out. At this point, it seems like every couple years Tank has some sort of similar run-in with the law. His last major run-in came in December of 2022, where he was arrested for allegedly striking a woman with a closed hand type slap, although these charges were later dropped. But I'm not an expert on any of this, and I'm not really here to discuss details of a DV case. I'll let the courts do that. The question I think I can better speculate on is how this will impact his career. Now, his legal troubles in the past haven't done much to slow him down, so will this time be any different? To answer it in a single word, maybe. Now, Gervonta Davis is undeniably one of the biggest names in the sport, and because of the money he generates when he fights, really no matter what he does, it's hard for him not to find opportunity.
Although Davis had previously hinted that 2025 might be his last year in the ring, several big fights still remained in the pipeline, particularly a much-anticipated rematch with Lamont Roach. However, given his current mindset and recent developments, those matchups now seem doubtful. This has left fans disappointed, especially since these bouts could have added even more weight to Davis's legacy.
Gervonta Davis had his press conference. I think he turned up 4 or 5 hours late. No Calvin Ford, his trainer. No Leonard Ellaby. He turned up by himself. And then he went on to say 2025 will be his last year in the sport. He wants to get therapy, and he feels like he can't get therapy unless he leaves the sport of boxing. He's got young kids, and he wants to be the best father he can for those kids. And if he continues fighting, then the therapy won't work. Kind of made sense.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more exciting videos, make sure to hit the bell icon and stay updated. Subscribe to Boxing Hub now for all the latest in boxing.